Welcome to the program Sadhguru, and we are delighted to talk to you. पहले मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहूँगी Sadhguru, India interestingly gets its name from a river, and yet somewhere we've lost the bond. So what is Rally for Rivers to the common man?
Rally for Rivers as a movement was 2 years ago, and the main purpose of that was to raise awareness in India about the condition of our rivers, which is alarming, and also to change the national policy as to how we handle our rivers. Fortunately, India responded in a huge way. 162 million people supported the movement in 30 days' time. As you know, I personally drove from Kanyakumari to Himalayas myself, 9,300 kilometers, 142 events, 184 interviews, and driving 18 to 20 hours a day. All the 16 states, the chief ministers participated. At that time, the 16 states were ruled by 6 different political parties, but all of them came together across the spectrum, and they put this through whatever scientific and economic test, and the Niti Aayog within 2.5 months, they made this the official recommendation for all the 29 states. It was sent as official recommendation. So in policy, we have Rally for Rivers recommendations in every state. About 4 states are very proactively implementing this. Others are in various stages of debate and discussion about this. But right now, as a part of this, we're also doing a hands-on project in Vagadi River in Yavatmal. So our volunteers are there on the ground, implementing it along with the government agency. We have put volunteers to ensure that every family in the Vagadi region are contactable, because we want to make sure none of the suicides happen. We are trying to change their economic condition by changing the agricultural patterns that they were doing earlier. Now the Cauvery calling is a major movement. Here there are 3 dimensions to this. One is the farmer, another is the government, because the government needs to give some incentives, and then it's a larger society. In terms of the farmers, for the last 18 years, we have converted 69,760 farmers into agroforestry, and we have seen within 5 to 7 years, the farmer's income goes up anywhere between 300 to 800%. So this is a proven model. It's not that we're experimenting with the farmer, it's a well-proven model. Only thing is, right now, we have been treating timber as a forest produce. Now we want to change that. We are pushing the government to form a timber board so that timber will be treated as an agro-produce, not as a forest produce. Because India's forests have reached a place, no further commercial exploitation of the forest is possible. We should not touch the forest, it's over. For tribals and others who live in the forest, they use some small things, that is okay. Commercial exploitation of forest must be history in this country. There's no way to touch that again. So timber can only come from agroforestry. Our focus right now is to convert 1/3 of Cauvery Basin into agroforestry. Converting 1/3 of Cauvery Basin means it is 85,000 square kilometers. This means we must plant, or farmers must plant, some 242 crore trees. This will greatly enhance farmers' income, but in the first 2 years, there may be a drop in income of 15 to 20%. In the second 2 years, there may be a drop of 25 to 30%. On the 4th, 5th year, there may be a drop of 50%. For this, we have been pushing for the governments, the Karnataka and Tamil Nadu governments, to give subsidy so that this loss in income is taken care of. Both the governments have come to this, that they have agreed that they will pay the subsidies. Whatever the loss of revenue that happens will be compensated for every farmer. So now that threshold has been crossed. Now the big problem is how to raise 242 crore trees. So for that we are crowdsourcing the money, because we want to set up 350 large nurseries along the Cauvery basin. Right now we have 32 nurseries. We want to go the scale up because no particular department or private agency, nobody has the capacity to raise this volume of saplings. What we are doing right now is, about 45 vehicles with LED screens are making rounds in the Cauvery basin. Till today they've covered around 6,500 villages. There's a phenomenal response from the farmers because these LED screens are showing them what is agroforestry, how to do it, what are the benefits, how the benefits come, the whole aspect of it. Seeing these things and also our volunteers being there educating them, the farmers are responding absolutely positively. How this works is, it's like this. See, in the last 100 years, our rainfall has not come down. The volume of rain that is happening in this country in the form of monsoons has not come down because monsoon is the only source of water we have. Rivers, lakes, ponds, wells are not the source of water, they're only the destinations for water. So this water that's coming in the form of rain, it should percolate down into the earth and enrich the soil. Instead of that, it's running away on the surface. If you have substantial vegetation, naturally it would percolate. All the studies show if you plant 10,000 trees in congruent land, 38 million to 45 million liters of water you can sequester and augment the water in the land. So based on this calculation, this 242 crores, if you plant this much, the volume of water sequestered in the land will be somewhere between 9 to 12 trillion liters. To give you a perspective of what is 12 trillion liters, right now the Cauvery's flow, annual flow, is 21.2 trillion liters. If 12 trillion liters of water goes into the soil, our aquifers will be rich, lakes will be full, ponds will be full, wells will be full, and definitely Cauvery will come up because right now in the last 25 years, Cauvery has depleted by about 44%.
And also, like you said, animals, it's a very important thing to understand, especially for the children of this generation, that the earth belongs to them as well, and we need to treat them with that kind of respect. Also about agroforestry, Sadhguru, India is rice-producing nation and a wheat-producing nation. So somewhere we need to, tell the farmer that you can go in for mango trees and maybe that becomes commercially viable. I would like to know more.
See, India was not a rice and wheat-producing nation as it is today. This has happened not because of cultural reasons, not happened because of nutritional reasons. Why Indian people have become in such a way that they're consuming a single cereal is, unfortunately in the past, out of some sort of wisdom that I don't want to dissect now, they gave minimum support price only for rice, wheat and sugarcane. So that is why everybody wants to grow that. So we've been pushing for this. Now central government has announced support price for millets, which is a very, very positive step. Now the support price for ragi is higher than that of the rice. But culturally we got reversed. All the people who were using millets and they were healthy, unfortunately everybody shifted to rice eating, which is taking a huge toll. It is not that there is something wrong with rice, it is a single cereal diet which is causing the problem. In Tamil Nadu they say 42% or 43% of the male population is diabetic. Right now the organic content of the soil has gone down. United Nations gives this prescription. If you want to call soil as soil, there must be 2% organic content. Right now in Tamil Nadu, the organic content average is 0.68%. So that means all this soil in another 10 years' time will be unusable, almost the whole of it.
Sadhguru, you mentioned something about sources of water where you said river is the destination, not a source of water. Similarly, people think it's glacial waters also that are coming, but I think that is very less.
In India, only 4% of our rivers are glacial water. Even in that 4%, more than 3% of the glacial water is either coming from Nepal or China. So what is coming from Indian Himalayas is a very small amount. So rest is all forest fed, and forest is fed only by the monsoon. So in India, glacial water is not relevant except the flooding that you have from Nepal, which is partially glacial water.
Do you think, Sadhguru, we could have some capsules for children in school in collaboration with the MHRD ministry for Cauvery calling, so that we can make it a movement? Now with the Amazon fires on, there is so much awareness happening about how to protect the earth globally, everything on the earth, including water.
See, the Amazon needs fire to burn it down. But Cauvery is evaporating even without fire, it's burning. The sun itself burns us. If we don't put the land under shade, the sun will burn the life out of us. So our intention is to put Cauvery basin and the nation, at least 1/3 of the nation must be in shade. Why I'm saying this is, if you fly from Delhi to Coimbatore or Kanyakumari, if you look down every 2 minutes, you will see India looks like a brown desert, except for a few patches and Western Ghats. Rest of it looks like a brown desert, because nobody grows a tree in the farmland because he cannot use it. It is time farmer must clearly be made clear. That's why we are wanting to form a timber board. That is, timber must be treated as agricultural produce, not as forest produce. If we do this one thing, I think rural economies will buzz, life in rural India will be much better. If we do that one thing, I think we have taken a massive step towards well-being.
And on that very, very pragmatic note, I'd like to say more power to you, more power to this campaign, Sadhguru. Thank you so much for talking to us today. And to all our viewers, हम आपसे अनुरोध करते हैं कि इस जल जीवन है को और जल शक्ति को आप एक आंदोलन बनाएं